China contests the West Philippine Sea tag on Google Maps. China is contesting the West Philippine Sea label that has recently become searchable in Google Maps. During the regular press conference of Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lin Jian on Tuesday, April 15th, the official reiterated that the name South China Sea has long been recognized by the international community. A recent Google Maps search of the Panatag or Scarborough Shoal, a maritime feature within the 200 nautical miles exclusive economic zone of the Philippines, and was the site of the 2012 standoff between the navies of both countries, showed it is within a body of water labeled West Philippine Sea. The Armed Forces of the Philippines has welcomed the inclusion of the West Philippine Sea label on the web mapping platform, noting that it affirmed the international recognition of the country's sovereign rights, which was upheld in the 2016 arbitral ruling under United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. However, China has refused to recognize the ruling, and the tribunal has no enforcement mechanism. According to Enrile, Duterte brought arrest upon himself. Former Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile said former President Rodrigo Duterte had no one to blame but himself for his arrest and transfer to the International Criminal Court for Crimes Against Humanity. In a Facebook post on Tuesday evening, April 15th, Enrile said he would not destroy the country's legal order or damage its reputation just to protect one man. According to President Marcos's chief legal counsel, protecting the state and upholding justice must come first. The 101-year-old political icon emphasized that the Philippines is governed by the rule of law and a regime of justice. Enrile also invoked the Constitution, saying Marcos was simply fulfilling his oath to preserve and defend it, execute its laws, and do justice to every man. Pulse Asia reports that Marcos's approval and trust ratings dip, while Sara Duterte's scores climb in March. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. saw a sharp decline in his approval and trust ratings, while Vice President Sara Duterte recorded the only gains among the country's top officials, based on Pulse Asia's Ulat ng Bayan survey, conducted from March 23rd to 29th. The president's approval rating was down from 42% in February, a 17-point decrease in just 1 month. His disapproval rating also rose by 21 percentage points over the same period. In terms of trust, Pulse Asia said President Marcos's rating plummeted from 42% in February to 25% in March. Meanwhile, the percentage of Filipinos who distrust him rose from 32% to 54%. In contrast, Vice President Duterte was the only official to see improvements in both approval and trust ratings, Pulse Asia said. Her approval rating rose from 52% in February to 59% in March, while her disapproval rating dropped from 26% to 16% over the same period. Vice President Duterte's trust rating also improved, rising from 53% to 61%. On the other hand, her distrust rating decreased from 26% to 16%. Heat index in Metro Manila and 17 other areas could hit danger levels this April 16th. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration warned that 18 areas, including Pasay City in Metro Manila, could experience a heat index reaching the danger threshold of 42 degrees Celsius or higher on Wednesday, April 16th. Based on its forecast, Pagasa said Los Baños, Laguna may record the highest heat index of the day at 50 degrees Celsius, after also registering the highest heat index on April 15. Other areas that could experience heat indices between 42 degrees Celsius and 47 degrees Celsius include Pasay City, Tuguegarao City, Cagayan, Iba, Zambales, Clark, Pampanga, Coron, Palawan, San Jose, Occidental Mindoro, Pili, Camarines Sur, Rojas City, Capiz, Iloilo City, Iloilo, Dumangas, Iloilo, Ekage, Isabela, Baler, Aurora, Catarman, Northern Samar, Tarlac City, Tarlac, Cavite City, Cavite, Tanawan, Batangas, and San Ildefonso, Bulacan. NATO chief reaffirms support for Ukraine during a visit to the port city of Odesa. NATO's support for Ukraine remains unwavering, the alliance's Secretary General said Tuesday, emphasizing that more than 20 billion euros, over $22 billion in security assistance, has already been pledged by NATO allies in the first 3 months of the year. Mark Rutte spoke on Tuesday in Ukraine's port city of Odesa, where he met with President Volodymyr Zelensky. His visit came days after 2 Russian ballistic missiles struck the city of Sumy on Palm Sunday morning, killing at least 35 people, including 2 children, and injuring 119. Amid that uncertainty and U.S. warnings that Europe must take care of its own security and that of Ukraine in the future, the multinational force is seen as a first test of the continent's willingness to defend itself and its interests. Stay updated with the latest news. Visit our website at www.mb.com.ph or follow us on social media. Thanks for tuning in to